Did you know that the world's largest tropical lake by area is in Africa? It's here, Lake Victoria. And it's so big that if you were to put all of the water in the lake into the world's largest river, the Amazon, it would only raise the water level by about 2 inches. That's just how much water this lake holds. The Nile River is the world's longest river at about 6,650 kilometers long. But Lake Victoria is not the Nile's beginning. That honor goes to Lake Nasser in Egypt, which is man-made. The Nile actually starts out as 2 rivers, the White Nile and the Blue Nile, which eventually merge into one. The White Nile begins in Lake Victoria. So if the Nile is the world's biggest river and Lake Victoria is the world's largest tropical lake by area, what makes it the White Nile's source? There are actually 2 answers to that. The first is that the Nile River has its source at the outlet of Lake Victoria, right here. The second answer is a little more complicated. You see, the Nile River actually begins here at the southernmost point of Lake Victoria. That means that everything that flows into Lake Victoria is part of the Nile River, even though it doesn't look like a river at this point. It's just a bunch of streams and small rivers flowing into the lake. These include the streams that come from the nearby highlands, as well as the rivers that are formed by the melting snow and ice from Mount Kilimanjaro and Mount Kenya. Because they flow into Lake Victoria, they are considered part of the Nile River. However, not everyone agrees with this definition of where the Nile River begins. Some people consider the Nile's source to be where the White Nile and Blue Nile meet in the Sudan, which is over 6,000 kilometers away. They say that everything before this point is just a tributary of the Nile, which means that the true source of the Nile is here. But no matter where you think the Nile River begins, one thing is for sure: it wouldn't be possible without Lake Victoria.